Good morning, gang. Good morning. Welcome to today's altcoin video. First and foremost, big shout out to Prime XBT for sponsoring today's video. Prime gives you access to trade cryptocurrencies, forex, commodities, and stock indices. And if you guys want a deposit bonus and a reduction in trading fees, a 25% discount, then check out the links in the description below. Right, guys. Well, following on from last week we were talking about chilies and sushi, and yeah, they played out pretty perfectly, didn't they? So let's have a quick look at the screenshot. First and foremost, we had chilies, which we were looking at last week. We were saying if chilies manages to continue this uptrend, and this was looking on the 4-hour chart. Obviously, we had the low, we had a high, we had a higher low, a higher high, and we were talking about at the time. If we continue to maintain this uptrend, then I'm going to be looking around this 24-cent mark, which is around this point of control. And then obviously let's have a look at what happened. Well, let's zoom into the 4 hours so we can see clearly. We maintain the uptrend. And look at this, we came into this point of control. So now, obviously, as we were saying at the time, this is, for me, this is definitely a take profit on longs. And potentially time to head short, because obviously this is the biggest resistance at the moment on the chart. If we continue up here and manage to reclaim this point of control, then we're going to be looking at these highs here to be taken and this liquidity run. If we fail to get above that, then we're going to be looking back down into this consolidation here and ultimately maybe the value area low. Again, like we said last time, if that doesn't hold, then we're looking down to this lower consolidation. If this does hold, then we're looking back up to this point of control and then again looking higher. So obviously that's a quick recap on chilies. Sushi swap was the other one we were looking at. Sushi, again, bullish structure. Let's take a look at last week's stream where we're talking about we're currently in the range. We just bounced off the point of control. We'd come up towards the value area high, getting a slight rejection at the time. And then this is what happened. Let's get up to the daily, which is the same time frame. So we just bounced off the point of control. We had come up here. And then ultimately what we've done is we've broken out of the top of the range and we've come back into the range. So like we were saying last time, if we do deviate out of the range, take the stops and potentially a short trigger there. And this is what's happening. So, you know, if price does come back up and retest this and gets a very good reaction off it and a rejection, then, you know, you've potentially got a chance to go short there. Obviously, everything discussed today, don't forget, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my ideas based on how I'm trading things. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. We've got obviously the deviation, took the stops. There's still stops above here, which could still be taken if we do get one more push up. But ultimately, if we do get a strong rejection from this range high here, then we'll be looking back down again, the value area high. EQ, point of control, and then obviously range lows if it carries on going down. Okay, so there's a quick recap. And this is the power, you know, just simple ranges, volume analysis like this, and it's very, very easy to trade altcoins, you know, or Bitcoin or any asset for that matter. You know, all you need to do is have your technical analysis on the charts, have some plans, and trade from the plans. If you don't have a plan, then you ain't got a clue what you're doing, have you? You're just gambling. Let's be honest. Right, now that's out of the way, let's have a look at today's options. So, today's options, we had this altcoin, which I have no idea what this is, Hapi USD. Yeah. Okay. So, when was this created? This was June 21. So it's over a year old now, so we've got some good history. So let's have a look at this. So yeah, this was the most requested coin on our Twitter feed. By the way, guys, if you want a altcoin featuring next week, let us know down in the comments what altcoin you want. And we'll take a look at the highest ranked ones, shall we? Right, here we go. So let's have a look. Okay, so first things first. Let's see where we're at in terms of volume. Okay. Well, okay, so this is thin. So, initial thoughts. Obviously, we've got a lot of volume down here, which makes sense because obviously we've been ranging for quite some time. And then we've got a very thin area here. We've got a few spikes, a few injections of volume, which we can see, like, I mean, looking at this wick here, we've got an injection of volume here, looking at this consolidation here, which makes sense, and then up here, and then ultimately got your value area high up here. So, first thing to note from this is this value area high here should be considered resistance if price manages to get all the way up there. Now, this area here is fairly thin, so if volume does come in and everyone gets very aggressive at this, then it could technically move throughout this region quite quickly. And we can see, obviously, with the wiki price action here as well, you know, it's tried to do this before. So that's the first thing to note with this. Let's just get rid of these. Now let's zoom in and let's look a little bit more local, shall we? So here we go. So we've had a bit of an explosive move here. Obviously, this is on the daily chart. What does it look like in a lower time frame? Yeah, we've had quite an extended move there. It does look slightly overextended, but it's still maintaining structure at the moment. Obviously, on the 4 hour, it's got potential. Takes out this low, keeps coming down, then maybe on the lower time frame it is starting to show signs of weakness. Let's pull this back on again, so we've just got access to this. There we go. Right, so, well, quite clearly have a range. Would I be using this, or would I be using this? Which I think I'll be using this. There. So that's the range that I'll be looking at based on this. And then if we throw a volume profile throughout this range, I suspect it's going to look very similar. Yep, the point of controls pretty much line up. Value area low here, value area high here. So, what can we expect from this? Well, let's just look at a quick extension to see how far we are extended. Let's take the ultimate low, the range high, and then the ultimate low again. Oh, look at that. It's the two spot extension. So yeah, so this to me is very extended. Very extended. Yeah, if you weren't taking profits, like we said last time, and like I teach my guys, if you're not taking profits around the 1618, then you know you're a fool if you were buying down here and you're not taking something off here. And then when you get up to the 2 spot extension, this is very extended. So yeah, you'd be locking in some more profits here. Plus we can see here that this wick here is taking out this wick here. So if we just throw on a simple line like this, we can see, let's just call this the key level for the time being, just to make it clear. So we can see here, taking the high of here. Have we taken the high of this one? Yeah, in fact, we've even taken the swing of that one. So we've got a little mini SFP there. Triggered some stops here from anyone shorting this. And then obviously we're having this pullback here. So what can we be expecting next? Well, based on how overextended this is, I would be looking for some sort of pullback at least. But obviously it's whether it gives people the opportunity to get back in again for potentially more upside, or this is a full-blown reversal now and we're going to be coming back down. So what I'll be looking at initially is if this level doesn't hold, then I'll be looking to come back down here and test the old range high. If you get a successful back test of this range high, you know, maybe deviation into it, back out and up, change structure, then potentially get a long. And effectively what you'd be then trading is trading this range between the ranges. Okay, if this doesn't hold and price does come back down, back into this old range, then first and foremost you'll be looking at this value area high region. Below that you're going to be looking at this range EQ / point of control region, and below that obviously your value area low, and maybe ultimately your overall value area low / range row. Okay, so you're looking, if price does come down and it's maintaining a bullish structure, then obviously you'll be looking for longs to keep it going. If it doesn't give you this setup and it continues coming down, then obviously, you know, you're looking for lower. For me, the strongest area on the chart right now would be this. Let's throw it on a quick fib pull. Let's use this low here. So we can see here, we've got the golden pocket right around the range highs. So as I said on the first one, if price does come down, deviates back into the range, taps this golden pocket, back out and up, you got a nice long trigger there. If no reaction at this golden pocket, then obviously we'll be looking for lower. Now we've got this 786 lining up with the EQ, lining up with point of control, so you know you've got a good zone there for a potential long. Obviously if no reaction and it just keeps with bearish market structure, then you just leave it, don't you? Simple as that. What happens if we keep going up? Well, let's take a look, shall we? If price does continue up, then first thing to note is each one of these wicks, I'd expect to give a reaction. Take the wick, slight pullback. Take the wick, slight pullback. Take the wick, slight pullback. Now I'm not saying it's just going to continue doing this all the way up, but if it does, I'd expecting pullbacks off after each one of these wicks, because obviously there's liquidity above each one. Okay, but as we said right at the beginning, it's fairly thin, is this. So if price does successfully break out of this region here, reclaim, and continues up, then this could move up rather fast. I'm not saying it will, but it's got the ability to, purely because it's so thin. All the volume is down here. You know, you could argue that this is just accumulation, now ready for upside. You could argue that it's just range bound environment, it's going to continue ranging for another 12 months, but you know, we don't know until it sees. But obviously it does come up, then we're looking up at this value area high here, which would be around $42. I would be looking for a pullback there at least, and a slight rejection. If no rejection, then obviously then you're back into this overall structure here, where you've got a lot of volume to contend with here. So you could be looking at a ranging structure here, break down into this old range, acceptance back there, then you've got another short trigger, get above this, then yeah, you're probably going to be looking higher. Let's throw in a quick volume profile from the top to the bottom. Yes, obviously naturally high time frame golden pocket being an area to look out for. What have we got down here? Of interest. Here's these ultimate lows. Okay, yeah, so golden pocket's still down here, 786 is still down here. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much that for Hapi. Yeah, it's almost more difficult with a chart with very little history and quite shit volume, let's be honest, because you know this is just thin. It's, you know, it's trading on KuCoin. Can't find that on anything else. Yeah, KuCoin. So it's not going to have the biggest volume. You know, it's not like one of the bigger exchanges that's going to attract a load more volume. But yeah, it's a shit coin. Let's be honest. That's what it is. So that's what I'll be looking for. Pull back here if it continues back down to these range highs. If that doesn't hold, then acceptance back into this range, and we're looking down here, value very high, point of control, EQ. Above that, look for each one of these stops to be real, and if it does maintain, then this value area high here, which, you know, for me that'd be a really damn good take profit if you are long. 42, you know, and as a move itself, that's significant, isn't it? Let's be honest. That's, you know, from the overall lows up to there, you know, it's a 600% move. That's significant. I mean, where it's already at is significant, which is why I believe this is overextended as it is. I mean, that's a 250% move. It's fairly overextended. So yeah, if you're a bag holder of this, you know, pay yourself. If you're not paying yourself and this just continues to range, then, you know, you're just giving away profits. What's the point of giving away profits? You know, if you are confident that this, you know, is a strong shit coin and this is going to go to the moon, then, you know, why not skim some profits off the table when you hit significant levels like this? Especially, obviously, it's, as we said, it's a 2-spot extension. You know, pay yourself some profits, and then if you are long-term bullish on this and you think this uptrend is going to continue, so look how high a time frame. Obviously the daily we've got up, the weekly, we've got an uptrend. So obviously, yeah, if you are confident on this and you are confident it's going to go up, then, you know, pay yourself and just add back in. It's as simple as that, and that's how you ride a trend. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult. All right. Okay. So next, which is surprise, Elon Musk is tweeting all about this. Everyone's going ape again, and there we go. I mean, from these lows, it's already up, you know, nearly 200%. If we use these lows, 220%. So again, another shitcoin having a big pump. Let's have a see. So, where are we up to? Let's have a look. So let's use this to, yeah. Have I got all this price action? That's where the breakdown is. Is that right? Interesting. Okay. We'll use this fib pulse. So from the all-time high to the point of losing effectively what was this range, we can see here we've come down, formed a new range, and now we're breaking back up. And are we successfully getting back into this value area? So that's the question. Another thing we could potentially look at is, let's take these lows here, which I do prefer. Yeah, let's take these lows here. And this is a range. Okay, right. This is a lot clearer. So sometimes, obviously, when you're using volume profiles like this and volume analysis, it's not necessarily crystal clear. And it just gives us an alternative version, which is quite interesting. So, how I'm looking at this right now, quite simply, we are back testing now the bottom of this old range. And if we look at this old range, obviously, we've got a wick down here, a wick here, respect here, break down, back in, bounce in, come back up, back test, back test, back test, ultimately cannot get back into this range, and then this is what causes the pull away. Okay? Not to mention, you know, the rest of the market was coming down. Right, so now, what we're doing? Well, we're back testing this. So if you are long, you know, first and foremost, I'm going to question why you're not taking some profits off the table here. Pay yourself. You know, go treat the t'other half to something nice. Or treat yourself to something nice. Pay yourself. You know, you've lost a shitload of money if you've been bag holding this all the way from the top, let's be honest. Wow, over 90% down. So yeah, pay yourself. Pay yourself. Treat yourself. Why not? So, for me here, because we've got this value area low here, now what I'd be looking for now is, are we going to get acceptance into this? So obviously just lingering around here, for me, that's not true acceptance. But what we want to see ideally, if you are bullish, let's come down here. So what we can see, well, we might have a range forming here. If this doesn't straight away get back into this range, then, you know, we could be looking for a range here. You know, we've got this value area low, which is from this range here, from the all-time high until the breakdown. So we've got this value area low here. So if we come back down and back test this, and this holds, this region holds, then we can be looking for another try again at this range. Okay? If this doesn't hold, then this is very thin. Very thin, because obviously, look, it's just moved up in a parabolic fashion. Now, as much as this makes people excited, you know, and a little bit giddy, gets people FOMOing in, you know, this kind of structure is not sustainable. Okay? Yes, it can continue going up. Yes, it can. I'm not saying it can't. But what I'm saying is, if you do see a pullback, and especially this consolidation here, now this is on a daily time frame, if this consolidation here around, call it 12 cents for easy numbers, if that doesn't hold, then this is thin. So I'd be expecting that. If price doesn't hold here, then this will come down fairly fast. Okay? This is why it's always a good idea to pay yourself. Just be aware for both sides. You know, I'm not saying that it's going to break down. But if it does, you need to be prepared for this. Let's have a look at this, shall we? Good range. There we go. So, if this doesn't hold, you know, if we do get a pullback now, and this doesn't hold, then I'd be looking ultimately back down for this range high. Back test where it broke out from. Because obviously we've tried here, we've tried here, we've tried here, we've tried here. Could this act now as a support? So obviously resistance flipped into support and then continue up. Could do. If not, if that doesn't happen, then looking for acceptance back into that range. So obviously that's on the downside. So this area here for me is significant. It's significant. If this doesn't hold, price comes back through it, then we're looking back down again. If price does hold, and we get back into this range, then we're back to trading this old range, aren't we? Quite simply. So from here, you'd be looking up to this point of control. This is roughly around 24 cents, up to 25 cents. So this is a significant region. Significant region. Okay. Get above that, then you're looking for the value area high / range highs. If it does come this high, then as usual, what I'll be looking at with this range is a stop run of these. So if it does get that high, I mean that'd be extremely extended if it does, especially in the near short term, then I'll be looking for them to go. And there you go. Okay, failing that, if this doesn't happen, then looking for higher. You know, we can see here on the volume profile we've got a bit of resistance here, quite a lot of volume here. Obviously this is where the FOMO waves we're trying to get out as price is starting to nuke down. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking for. So to the upside, get into this range, successfully backtest it, this area. Above that, this area. If that doesn't hold, back down to value area low / this slight consolidation just underneath here. If that doesn't hold, then we're back down into this range. Really simple, just level to level. Don't overcomplicate things. Okay, just out of curiosity, I want to see this in comparison to what we were looking at on Hapi. So we'll do the overall low to the high to the low. Look at that. So the first rejection here, coming off the 2-spot extension, very similar to Hapi. And then obviously we have got the 2618 just above here. So obviously if it does get above here, it hits this 2618, then I'd be looking for the potentially is that the deviation back into the old range, back down, and there you go. Slam it back down with the red button. Okay, really simple. I'm not overly bullish, I'm not overly bearish. We've seen Doge before. Doge, it's a meme coin. It moves on a lot of FOMO. We know that, people like Elon tweets a few Doge pictures and everyone loses the marbles. And it's a bit of fun, obviously if you made profits in this, great, if you were trading this range, happy days, well done. Great move. So yeah, for now, local uptrend. If it continues, get back into this range. Lose this, looking for a pullback. Lose this, looking for a significant pullback. Okay? Dead straightforward. Nothing complex. Right, that'll do for today. We're already at 25 minutes. Well, I do tend to waffle. Obviously, if you guys want to learn how we spot trades like this, looking at last week, how we found areas like this, then first and foremost, check out our website. Links down in the description, spitfiretraders.com. On here, access to our free Discord. If you want to get in our free Discord, we do share some ideas, and there's a lot of different trading styles within there that you can pick up on, as well as a lot of educational content. And if you do want to take your learning to the next level, then we'll go over to the Copilot section, and you can join our Copilots, where it gives you access to nearly 60 hours of educational content, weekly streams, live updates when we get market volatility, and obviously then you also get my ideas as well in a little bit more detail compared to the free videos. If you don't follow us on Twitter, links down in the description. Once again, big thanks to Prime XBT for sponsoring today's stream. If you want to do check out and find out a bit more about them, then check out the links down in the description. Alright guys, as you were, and we'll see you next time.